Hey everyone, welcome back to Car Flash at the garage, where badge hype gets tossed in the glove box, spec sheet worship gets left at the showroom door, and what we're left with is the kind of raw, real-world driving truth that only comes from spending real time behind the wheel. If you're new here, buckle up, as this is where the rubber meets the road. Exterior. Today, we're diving deep into a name that needs no introduction, yet somehow continues to evolve, as the 2026 Porsche 911 GT. Porsche's 911 legacy is one of constant refinement, not revolution, but this latest GT model proves there's still plenty of magic to be had when old school soul meets cutting-edge tech. Walking up to the 2026 911 GT, the car makes an instant impression. The front end is familiar but sharper, more aggressive, as the kind of face that doesn't just want to cut through air, it wants to punch a hole in time. The LED matrix headlights have a more focused stare now, with a subtle notch above each lens that gives the car an angrier, more purposeful expression. Below that, the new front splitter sits lower than ever before, paired with large air intakes that not only look cool, but serve real aerodynamic function. You're not just looking at a pretty face, you're looking at a wind tunnel honed front end designed to keep this machine glued to the tarmac at triple-digit speeds. Slide around to the side, and you get a clear picture of just how honed this car really is. The roofline is unmistakably 911, and no one else draws a coupe quite like this, but the proportions are tighter, more athletic. The fenders are flared just enough to remind you this isn't your standard Carrera. Sitting on forged 20-inch front and 21-inch rear wheels, wrapped in Michelin Pilot Sport Cup 2 tires, the stance is mean without being cartoonish. You also get new carbon fiber side skirts and air blades that manage airflow along the body, all subtle until you realize every inch of this car is doing something important. Move to the rear and the drama dials up. The first thing that hits you is the fixed carbon fiber wing, a functional, unashamed, and absolutely stunning. It's not here to look good on Instagram, it's here to pin the car to the ground at 180 miles per hour. The rear bumper has been resculpted to incorporate a new diffuser and centrally mounted titanium exhaust tips that sing a note straight from the motorsport gods. Porsche's now iconic light bar returns, but it's slimmer and brighter, cutting across the tail like a scalpel. And underneath it all, the wide hips and hunker-down posture tell you everything you need to know why this is not a poser. This is a predator. Interior. Now, open the door and drop into the cabin, and the 2026 911 GT stays true to Porsche's minimalist, driver-first philosophy, but there are a few key changes that signal the times are changing. First off, the seats. You can spec traditional sport buckets or go full-on carbon fiber racing shells, and in either case, they hug you tighter than your high school sweetheart. The materials are race-inspired but not stripped-down Alcantara, real metal, carbon fiber, and just enough leather to remind you this is still a Porsche. No touchscreen bloat here. You get a clean, focused center stack with physical controls where they matter, a 10.9-inch central display with Porsche's latest infotainment software, and a new 12.6-inch curved digital gauge cluster behind the steering wheel. The traditional 5-dial look remains, but now it's fully digital and reconfigurable. And the steering wheel? Small, chunky, covered in suede, and with drive mode selectors right where your thumbs rest. Every inch of the cabin screams precision, and every detail reminds you this is a car made for driving, not just admiring. Fire up the engine, and the theater begins. Unlike many performance cars moving toward electrification, the 2026 911 GT proudly keeps its naturally aspirated 4.0-liter flat-six engine. That's right, and no turbo, no hybrid boost, just pure mechanical fury. It revs to a spine-tingling 9,000 revolutions per minute and delivers 520 horsepower and 347 pounds-feet of torque to the rear wheels. The throttle response is razor-sharp, the sound is absolutely addictive, and the feedback you get from every single input is what sets this car apart. Whether you opt for the 7-speed manual or the lightning-fast PDK dual-clutch transmission, the 911 GT delivers a level of engagement that most modern cars can only dream about. 0 to 60, just under 3.3 seconds with the PDK. and maybe a tenth or two slower if you're rowing your own gears. But here's the thing, the numbers almost don't matter. What matters is how this car makes you feel at 35 miles per hour on a back road. The steering is alive. The suspension, now with adaptive dampers and revised geometry, reads the road like Braille. The brakes, massive carbon ceramics with surgical stopping power. You can drive this car to the grocery store, then take it to a track day and scare yourself silly, and it won't break a sweat doing either. That duality is what makes the 911 GT such a unicorn in today's market. Of course, none of this comes cheap. The base price for the 2026 911 GT starts around $185,000, but we all know Porsche's options list is longer than a Tesla range argument. Add the such package: carbon fiber everything, ceramic brakes, lightweight glass, custom interior trims, and you're comfortably sailing north of $220,000. But here's the kicker, even at that price, it still feels worth it. Why? Because nothing else gives you this combination of heritage, usability, and performance. It's a car that's just as at home in a canyon as it is on a racetrack, and still looks good pulling up to a valet. So, what's the verdict? The 2026 Porsche 911 GT isn't trying to reinvent the wheel, it's refining it. It's a masterclass in balance, feel, and connection. In an age where cars are getting faster but less involving, more powerful but less personal, the 911 GT stands as a reminder of what driving used to feel like, and what it still can, if you care enough to do it right. It doesn't apologize for being old school in some ways, and it doesn't brag about being high-tech in others. It just is focused, ferocious, flawless. That's all from today's deep dive here on Car Flash. If this kind of no-nonsense, hands-on car review hits your rev limiter, make sure to tape that subscribe button, hit the bell so you never miss a drop, and drop your thoughts in the comments. Would you daily drive a car like this? Or is this best left for track days and Sunday blasts? Either way, I want to hear what you think. Until next time, keep your revs high and your traction control off. This is Car Flash, signing off.